Hello everyone, this is Shadow. Due to copyright restrictions on YouTube, I can't publish many of the audiobooks you love. That's why I've created a special paid service where you can enjoy over 300 high-quality audiobooks from platforms like Webnovel, Pocket FM, Audible, Wuxia, and more. Each novel comes as a one-time purchase, no subscriptions, no hidden fees. After payment, you'll receive full access via Telegram, along with all future updates for that novel. You'll find a wide selection of your favorite genres and titles, always in premium audio quality. Check the full list of available novels in the description. DM me now to get your favorite stories in audiobook form and start listening today. Chapter 51, Free Riding. The title of Fallen Star for a 6th rank evolver is in reference to the Cosmic Human Alliance. If that were placed in the martial worlds Lin Yuan traversed, like the martial world or Dragon Tiger world, it would be equivalent to an Apocalypse level rank. However, be it Fallen Star level or Apocalypse level, they had nothing to do with Lin Yuan's current situation. The Goddess of Wisdom, with her vast computational power, deduced that the theoretical limit of the Taiji Dao is at the 6th rank. But a theoretical limit is, after all, just that, a theoretical potential for the future. It indicated that the Goddess of Wisdom had high regard for Lin Yuan. To be precise, she was very optimistic about the Yin and Yang chapter of the Martial Path evolutionary path. The reason why the Goddess of Wisdom determined that the subsequent parts of the Martial Path evolutionary path uploaded by Lin Yuan were worth 20,000 merit points primarily resides in the Yin and Yang chapter. Had it not involved the fusion and transformation of Yin and Yang, but simply been a pure Tai-Yang chapter or Tai-Yin chapter, even if it ranked at 3rd rank, its final value would only be a few thousand merit points. How could it possibly reach the frightening 20,000? The power of Tai-Yang and the power of Tai-Yin are both high-level energies. Mastering one holds the potential of reaching 3rd rank, let alone the fusion of both. The fusion directly extends their potential to the level of 6th rank. I currently have 24,000 merit points. Lin Yuan had just received 20,000, while the remaining 4,000 were left over from his last traversal. On the first traversal, Lin Yuan uploaded the Innate chapter and Grandmaster chapter of the Martial Canon, earning 2,000 merit points. Later, he continued to upload the Great Grandmaster chapter, Mythological chapter, and Carefree chapter, gaining 3,000 merit points. After deducting the 1,000 merit points needed to upgrade to a 2nd-level citizen, Lin Yuan's current merit points had reached 24,000. Let's directly upgrade the citizen rank. With so many merit points, there was no need for hesitation. Lin Yuan chose to directly upgrade his citizen rank. Congratulations to Citizen Lin Yuan, your citizen rank has been upgraded to 3rd rank. In the blink of an eye, 5,000 merit points were deducted, and Lin Yuan's citizen rank was upgraded from 2nd rank to 3rd rank. I am now a 3rd rank citizen. Lin Yuan's spirits lifted. Across Kanglan Star, a 3rd rank citizen could also be considered a significant figure, and the highest citizen rank in Dongning City to date was only 2nd rank. From a 3rd rank citizen to a 4th rank citizen, I need 10,000 merit points. Lin Yuan checked the citizen rank information and immediately felt a slight urge. He currently still had 19,000 merit points, which was more than enough for another upgrade in citizen rank. A 3rd rank citizen is followed by a 4th rank citizen. A 4th rank citizen, this was no longer a significant figure on Kanglan Star, but a major power player. Only the planetary governor had achieved this rank on the whole planet. If Lin Yuan became a 4th rank citizen, his status would be directly on par with that of the planetary governor. Of course, Lin Yuan was well aware that this was only in terms of status, far from comparable in terms of power and influence. But the influence of a 4th rank citizen was already quite significant, especially with the numerous privileges it granted within the human alliance, enough to make ordinary citizens shudder. Let's upgrade. Lin Yuan was about to continue raising his citizen rank, when at that moment, he glanced at other content on his information interface. There were items like name, account balance, loan limit, and so on. Lin Yuan suddenly noticed that his loan limit had somehow been maxed out. After being promoted to a second-rank citizen, Lin Yuan had a 10 million credit line at the Central Bank of the Cosmic Human Alliance. This type of loan, provided by the Human Alliance to high-ranking citizens, was an interest-free loan with a repayment period of several decades. It was pretty much like giving money to high-ranking citizens. Even if they did not spend this money and just withdrew the loan to invest in a few financial products, they could earn money effortlessly. After all, the loan provided by the central bank required no interest payments. Therefore, prior to his second traversal, most of Lin Yuan's expenditures were principally through loans. Purchasing a residence in Shuiwei Residential Complex, other nutritional products, and that military-grade nutrition pod, and so on. The initial 10 million credit limit had been almost fully utilized by Lin Yuan. Only now, his personal loan limit had been restored. To put it simply, all the money Lin Yuan had borrowed before was now repaid. This was quite strange, as Lin Yuan was clear that he had not actively repaid any loans. As for automatic deductions, how much time had passed? Besides, the money in Lin Yuan's account hadn't decreased. Goddess of Wisdom. Lin Yuan directly chose to connect with the Goddess of Wisdom. Respected third-rank cosmic citizen Mr. Lin Yuan. The Goddess of Wisdom quickly explained the reason to Lin Yuan. It turned out that every time a citizen's rank is promoted, the personal loans belonging to this citizen will automatically be nullified, with the central bank repaying them on behalf. Of course, the personal loans mentioned here can only be the official loans. As for private loans from non-official sources, they are not included in this repayment clause. This repayment mechanism is one of the implicit benefits of a high-ranked citizen, which isn't explicitly stated. An upgrade in citizen rank signifies a contribution to the Human Alliance, and hence, the central bank repaying loans for them isn't a strange occurrence. There's such a good deal? Lin Yuan blinked and glanced at the loan limit available to third-rank citizens in the central bank. 100 million. The thought of immediately ascending to the fourth-rank citizen was suddenly restrained. If I spend this 100 million in loan limit and then upgrade to a fourth-rank citizen, wouldn't I be able to freeload this 100 million without paying it back? Clearly, Lin Yuan's speculation was correct. According to the central bank's loan repayment mechanism, that was indeed the case. This isn't a loophole in the citizen rank system. Merit points are extremely difficult to obtain, and ordinary citizens will definitely upgrade as soon as they accumulate enough points for it. Almost no one can resist the urge not to upgrade, especially given the vast array of enticing privileges and benefits that come with a higher citizen rank. While thinking about how to spend this 100 million, Lin Yuan browsed through the mail sent by the Cosmic Human Alliance after being promoted to a third-rank citizen. First was the congratulatory message and a transfer of 10 million. When promoted to a second-rank citizen, the Cosmic Human Alliance transferred 5 million. Now, upon being promoted to a third-rank citizen, the Cosmic Human Alliance transferred 10 million. The increase was far less than the increase in the loan limit, but it was understandable. After all, this was free money, and Lin Yuan naturally accepted it without reservation. Next came updates to the many privileges. Compared to the privileges of a second-rank citizen, a third-rank citizen had an additional appeal privilege. If subjected to any unfair treatment or witnessing any injustice, one could make a direct appeal to the highest planetary governor of the local star. After Lin Yuan reviewed all the privileges and had a clear understanding in his mind, he immediately opened the shopping options and started selecting various spiritual objects to restore his strength. With the authority of a third-rank citizen during the search, Lin Yuan could see a list that was several times larger. Many unheard-of spiritual objects and wonders continuously appeared. These two then. After half an hour, Lin Yuan finally confirmed his choices. Solar Essence. Cosmic Spiritual Object. 30 million civilization dollars per portion. Lunar Marrow. Cosmic Spiritual Object. 20 million civilization dollars per portion. Lin Yuan, having created the Taiji Dao and encompassing Tai Yin and Tai Yang, naturally needed the most Yang and most Yin objects to recover his strength. In this regard, Solar Essence and Lunar Marrow were suitable. Solar Essence came from stars in the exhaustion phase, and its collection was quite difficult. The price of 30 million proportion was the result of Lin Yuan getting a 20% discount with his third-rank citizen privileges. As for lunar marrow, it came from a few special cold planets, often guarded by different species, and was extremely dangerous. In fact, due to the characteristic of the Taiji Dao to merge and convert, Lin Yuan could still recover his full strength even if he continued to take high-grade nutrient solutions, slowly refining the energy within the nutrient solution and transforming it into the power of Tai Yin and power of Tai Yang through the Taiji Dao. However, this method would take a fair amount of time, and a bottle of high-grade nutrient solution was worth 200,000. Lin Yuan had used over 20 bottles of high-grade nutrient solution to recover before. Now that his realm had reached the second layer limit to fully recover his strength, at least 200 bottles of high-grade nutrient solution would be needed. Over 200 bottles of high-grade yin and yang essence would cost 40 to 50 million, which was not much different in value compared to lunar marrow and solar essence. He clicked to confirm the purchase of lunar marrow and solar essence, and set the payment method to the loan limit from the central bank. Lin Yuan stretched lazily, his mood brightening. How to spend the remaining 50 million? Lin Yuan pondered in his mind. Maybe I could buy some evolutionary paths to look at. Lin Yuan thought quietly to himself. With his against heaven's understanding, examining other evolutionary paths might allow him to further perfect his martial path evolutionary path. Thinking of the martial path evolutionary path, Lin Yuan's thoughts once again drifted to the Kanglin evolution ranking. This ranking recorded the most powerful 100 evolutionary paths in the history of Kanglin Star. Before the second crossing, Lin Yuan had uploaded the subsequent Great Grandmaster chapter, mythological chapter, of the martial path evolutionary path. The addition of higher levels of cultivation moderately increased the potential of the martial path evolutionary path. As reflected on the Kanglin evolution ranking, it went from originally being ranked 93rd to 78th. And just now, he had uploaded the Celestial Phenomena chapter and the Yin and Yang chapter, especially the Yin and Yang chapter, which was key in allowing the Goddess of Wisdom to start anew in evaluating the martial path evolutionary path. Goddess of Wisdom. Where does the martial path evolutionary path now rank on the Kanglin evolution ranking? Lin Yuan contacted the Goddess of Wisdom, inquiring with a hint of curiosity. The Kanglin evolution ranking was updated daily at midnight, but as the creator of this evolutionary path, Lin Yuan could naturally ask the Goddess of Wisdom for the real-time ranking. Respected third-rank citizen Mr. Lin Yuan, the comprehensive ranking of the martial path evolutionary path is now 8th on the Kanglin evolution ranking. Chapter 52 Top 10 Changes. Song Lan Star Virtual World. Early morning, Central Plaza area. A towering Kanglin evolution ranking stood erect while a middle-aged man with reddened eyes casually sat on a chair, his gaze occasionally flicking towards the evolution ranking. His name was Pei Lu, a member of the Pei family from Kanglin Star. The Pei family was a well-known family of evolvers on Kanglin Star. There were two types of evolvers, unique type evolvers and general type evolvers. Among the unique type evolvers there were many categories, one of which included lineage evolvers. Lineage evolvers, the foundation of many evolver families, had their evolutionary abilities passed down through their bloodlines. Compared to other evolvers, the cultivation for lineage evolvers was much easier, merely needing to continuously unlock the potential of their bloodlines. Of course, the drawback was also clear: the limit of their bloodline was their own limit. Prior to reaching the limit of their bloodline, they wouldn't encounter any setbacks or obstacles, but once they reached that limit, it was basically impossible to break through. The Pei family was a third-rank lineage evolver family. I wonder why the family head is so concerned about the evolution ranking. Pei Lu was somewhat bored. In 10 minutes, the evolution ranking was due for an update. Ever since, half a year ago, a path called the Martial Path Evolutionary Path broke into the top 100 of the ranking. The family head then ordered him to watch over it at this time every day and to immediately report any changes back to the family. Actually, not just the Pei family, but other powers on Kanglin Star had basically started sending people to guard the evolution ranking. The Kanglin evolution ranking was not just a list of ranks. Many evolutionary paths recorded on it were connected to the future situation on Kanglin Star. For example, if a citizen wished to try becoming an evolver, they would naturally prefer choosing an evolutionary path listed on the evolution ranking. Evolvers of the same evolutionary path naturally gravitated towards each other and easily grouped together. Over time, forming a group was nothing unusual. At that moment, as long as the creator of this evolutionary path stepped forward, they could easily rally a response, and establishing a force corresponding to that evolutionary path was merely a matter of speaking out. The 100 evolutionary paths on the Kanglin evolution ranking represented the most powerful 100 forces on Kanglin's star. These forces were deeply intertwined within Kanglin's star, and their influence even spread to nearby star domains. Half a year ago, the Marshall Path evolutionary path had risen remarkably, entering the top 100 of the ranking and causing a massive impact, dropping many jaws in surprise. Just a few months later, not a few citizens on Kanglin's star embarked on the Marshall Path evolutionary path. Although no evolvers of corresponding realms, i.e. the Grandmaster realm, had yet appeared, given enough time, it was only a matter of when. Since the Marshall Path evolutionary path had appeared on the evolution ranking, it must have been recognized by the three goddesses, ensuring the correctness of its cultivation progress. Marshall Path evolutionary path. Pei Lu's expression became slightly serious. He had reviewed this evolutionary path in the Innate chapter and Grandmaster chapter. He had also recognized where the advantages of this evolutionary path lay. That was its low threshold. Compared to other evolutionary paths which required various external substances and medicines, or even special environments. The Marshall Path evolutionary path almost had no requirements, simply needing citizens to cultivate day after day as instructed. Perhaps stepping into the Grandmaster realm is difficult and requires some talent, but for the Innate realm, out of 3,000 or 4,000 citizens, producing one was not very difficult. It's a pity. The limit is not high, only 3rd rank. Pei Lu couldn't help but shake his head. His bloodline was also only 3rd rank, but on Kanglin's star, the world of bloodlines had always been uniform, only occasionally seeing existences with bloodlines reaching the 4th rank or even the 5th rank. However, recently the Marshall Path evolutionary path moved up from 93rd to 78th place, which is quite interesting. Did the founder improve the related concepts? Pei Lu couldn't help thinking to himself. He was not too concerned about it. The Kanglin evolution ranking was divided into 4 layers. The top 10 was 1 layer. From 11th to 30th was 1 layer. From 31st to 50th was 1 layer. From 51st to 100 was 1 layer. From 51st to 100, the difference among these 50 evolutionary paths was not significant. The limit was also generally 3rd rank. Centuries ago, no new evolutionary path had broken into the evolution ranking. But changes from the top 50 to the top 100 in the ranking were not uncommon. The Marshall Path evolutionary path, its potential is already set, belonging to the 4th layer of the evolution ranking. Perhaps soon, there will be evolvers of this path establishing a force that could shake Kanglin's star. Pei Lu stroked his chin and speculated. Just then, the distant towering evolution ranking surface suddenly became blurry. It's updating. Pei Lu's thoughts twitched, and he watched intently. At that moment, other figures in the plaza similarly looked over. Very soon, new text re-emerged. Pei Lu, out of curiosity about the Marshall Path evolutionary path, directed his gaze straight to the 78th place. Ha! Why is the Marshall Path evolutionary path gone? Pei Lu was shocked. Subconsciously, he looked further down. 79th place. 80th place. 90th place. 100th place. Pei Lu's expression changed. Could there be a problem with the Marshall Path evolutionary path? Was he kicked out by the goddess of wisdom? Pei Lu found it hard to believe. At the same time, he began from the 78th position and looked upward. 70th place. 69th place. 60th place. 50th place. Until he had seen all the rankings of the last 50 positions on the evolution ranking. Pei Lu still did not see the Marshall Path evolutionary path. What on earth happened? Pei Lu's eyebrows furrowed deeply. At that moment, Pei Lu suddenly noticed that the other people in the plaza had become somewhat noisy, especially a few individuals who couldn't control themselves and stood up from their positions, craning their necks to look up at the top of the evolution ranking. What's happening? Pei Lu's eyebrows slightly furrowed. For several months, he had been watching the updated rankings on the evolution ranking right here. The other people in the plaza had also been very quiet, so what was happening today? Pei Lu didn't understand. Subconsciously, he looked towards the top of the evolution ranking, the top 10 positions. It was just a glance. Pei Lu then saw that the 8th evolutionary path on the original evolution ranking had become the Martial Path evolutionary path. This. Pei Lu's eyes widened, and it took him a long time to collect his thoughts. The Martial Path evolutionary path? Number 8? Wasn't it 78th yesterday? Pei Lu was completely taken aback and instinctively looked at the 11th position. The Titan evolutionary path. This was originally the 10th on the evolution ranking. Now it had been pushed down to the 11th place. This is big news. Pei Lu swallowed hard and immediately began to contact the family head to send this information back. Shuiwei Residential Complex. Residence 32. A strange man stopped, standing in front of the door. Hello, Mr. Lin Yuan. This is the item you purchased. You can open it with your fingerprint. Lin Yuan took the sealed alloy handed over by the other party, running his finger over the top of the alloy box. Beep. Fingerprint verified. A synthesized electronic voice sounded, and Lin Yuan took the alloy box directly. The box was light, and if it weren't for the faint sensation of huge energy fluctuations inside, Lin Yuan might think there was nothing much inside. As expected of cosmic spiritual objects, a smile appeared on Lin Yuan's face. He could feel the energy fluctuations inside the box belonging to Taiyang and Taiyin, even though they were not as strong as the power of Taiyang and Taiyin inside the true martial sword in the Dragon Tiger world. They were not far off. Mr. Lin Yuan, if you confirm there's no issue with the item, you could sign here. The delivery man next to him spoke up to remind him, looking at Lin Yuan with a hint of envy. Even though he didn't know what was inside the alloy box, he knew that the delivered item was of the highest class. And usually, an item of this level was valued at least in the tens of millions, and anyone who could casually offer tens of millions in civilization currency was not ordinary. After Lin Yuan's signature, the delivery man then turned and left. Lin Yuan, holding the box, returned to the underground training grounds. Click. The box opened. It revealed 2 containers made from a special transparent metal inside. The left container displayed a fiery red color, while the right one displayed a deep blue color. Truly beautiful. Lin Yuan looked at the 2 types of cosmic spiritual objects. After admiring it for a moment, he immediately began to train. 2 days later, the underground training ground. Lin Yuan was seated cross-legged. In front of him, both solar essence and lunar marrow were almost consumed. Second layer limit. Lin Yuan suddenly opened his eyes, looked at the solar essence and lunar marrow, and a smile gradually appeared on his face. With these 2 types of cosmic spiritual objects, Lin Yuan had restored all of his strength in just 2 days. Chapter 53. Endless Starry Sky. Strength hasn't been affected at all. Lin Yuan closed his eyes to feel for a moment, then nodded slightly. Although, in the Dragon Tiger world, he had grown familiar with his own power. But after all, the main world was another world, and there were subtle differences between different worlds. The Tao of Taiji. Lin Yuan's mind stirred, and his feet left the ground, floating in mid-air. In the Dragon Tiger world, as long as one reached the level of a heavenly master, one could walk in the air. In the main world, due to the different focuses of the various evolutionary paths, the rank at which one could achieve levitation also varied. Most evolutionary paths allowed for levitation at the 3rd rank. A few special evolutionary paths enabled levitation at the 2nd layer. Of course, there were also some evolutionary paths that only granted the ability to levitate at the 4th rank. Lin Yuan came to the rooftop of the residential building. He stepped out, his body suspended in the air, ready to soar. But suddenly, Lin Yuan seemed to remember something. His body shrank back. This isn't the Dragon Tiger world. In the Dragon Tiger world, Lin Yuan could fly however he wanted. But in the main world, on the highly advanced Kanglan star, did it really seem like the planetary defense system didn't exist? With Lin Yuan's speed and life fluctuation, as long as he dared to appear in the sky, he would inevitably be detected by the planetary defense system. If he were to be surrounded, that would still be okay, but if he were mistakenly identified as a different species invader, and were to be directly targeted by electromagnetic cannons, laser beams, and other energy weapons, even Lin Yuan would suffer a significant loss. Respected Level 3 citizen Mr. Lin Yuan, if you wish to fly, there is no need for any concerns. You may roam the skies of the entire eastern continent at will. A solemn and cold voice came through. It was the goddess of wisdom. Lin Yuan was currently on top of the residential building, which did not fall under the privacy space agreed upon by the human alliance. Therefore, the goddess of wisdom had the right to observe. Then, deducing Lin Yuan's intention from his earlier actions, the goddess of wisdom considerately provided relevant advice. Is that so? Upon hearing this, Lin Yuan's mind immediately settled. As long as the goddess of wisdom thought there was no problem, that was all that mattered. Even Kanglan Star's highest security planetary defense system, if the goddess of wisdom wanted to take control, she could do so at any time. Whoosh! Lin Yuan shot straight into the sky. What Lin Yuan didn't know was, as he levitated, the invisible fluctuations enveloping Kanglan Star seemed to be torn open by a small gap. Centered on Lin Yuan in a radius of several hundred miles, all sensing devices and monitoring methods failed. Beep! In the security center of Kanglan Star, a staff member looked at the enormous monitoring screen with a surprised expression. What's wrong? A colleague casually inquired. Nothing. The goddess just redirected some data, answered the staff member. That's normal, said the colleague with a shrug. The goddess of wisdom managed all the civic logistics for the entire human alliance and often took control of Kanglan Star's security systems. Redirecting some data was hardly a cause for concern. High above Kanglan Star, Lin Yuan lay on his back on a cloud. His gaze turned toward the direction of outer space. A bit further out and I should be beyond Kanglan Star, Lin Yuan thought to himself. Without the protection of Kanglan Star, one would have to face various kinds of radiation from the starry sky, and without oxygen and other materials, an evolver below the 6th rank couldn't survive long in the true starry sky. This is the starry sky. Lin Yuan had never observed the cosmic starry skies up close, quite like now. For a moment he was somewhat entranced. Your understanding is against the heavens, and observing the cosmic starry skies may bring enlightenment. Your understanding is against the heavens, and observing the cosmic starry skies may bring enlightenment. Your understanding is against the heavens, and observing the cosmic starry skies may bring enlightenment. This continued for more than half an hour. Only then did Lin Yuan snap out of his immersed state. It's a pity. The starry universe is too far away from me now. Feeling it out forcefully, it's impossible to gain anything in a short time. Lin Yuan sighed, like in the Dragon Tiger world where he contemplated the Tai Chi Yin and Yang Dao. It took Lin Yuan almost 10 years to fully comprehend it. As for the more vast and boundless cosmic starry sky, Lin Yuan thought that to fully understand it might take hundreds, thousands, even tens of thousands of years, or possibly even longer. Of course, this was also because Lin Yuan's current realm was too low. If Lin Yuan were at the 6th rank, 7th rank, or even 8th rank, and then observed the cosmic starry sky, his speed of comprehension would certainly far surpass his present rate. The essence of what could be comprehended with against heaven's understanding depended on the height from which Lin Yuan stood. Simply put, the stronger Lin Yuan became, the more he would comprehend. It's still more convenient to directly purchase an evolutionary path for comprehension. Lin Yuan thought to himself. The evolutionary paths, including the Marshall Path evolutionary path created by Lin Yuan himself. They are all in-depth analyses of certain paths or powers. Compared to comprehending nature and the universe, comprehending an evolutionary path is like taking a shortcut. It's like how students learn from textbooks, although in theory without textbooks they could still learn, deducing complex formulas on their own from real-life situations. However, doing so would be incredibly inefficient. Nowhere near as simple as learning directly from a textbook. Next, Lin Yuan continued to watch the cosmic starry sky for a while. Then he returned to his residence in Shueiyue Residential Complex. Once his consciousness connected to the virtual world, Lin Yuan appeared in his personal space. The virtual world is divided into two parts. One is personal space, and the other is public areas. Public areas are subdivided into Central Plaza area, living area, trading area, arena area, and so on. So many private messages? Upon checking, Lin Yuan found over 10,000 unread private messages. It's about the Marshall Path evolutionary path. Having briefly read the first few messages, Lin Yuan roughly understood what was going on. The Celestial Phenomena chapter and the Yin and Yang chapter he uploaded 2 days ago caused the potential of the Marshall Path evolutionary path to skyrocket, pushing its ranking on the Kanglin evolution ranking into the top 8. This naturally caused a disturbance among the various powers on Kanglin star, prompting many people to attempt to contact the founder of the Marshall Path evolutionary path. Since Lin Yuan had concealed his citizen number, only leaving a moniker called Yuan, those who wanted to contact him could only do so through private messages. Not very interesting. Lin Yuan spent half an hour to browse through the more than 10,000 private messages. The messages mainly fell into 4 categories. First, wishing to get to know Lin Yuan. Second, wanting to recruit Lin Yuan into their own faction. Third, wishing to ally with Lin Yuan. Fourth, inquiring about issues related to the Marshall Path evolutionary path. Lin Yuan largely ignored the first 3 types of messages. It was only the 4th type. People who sent the 4th type of messages were generally intending to try the Marshall Path evolutionary path, or they had already embarked on it. These individuals wanted guidance from the founder of the evolutionary path himself, Lin Yuan, and were willing to pay a hefty sum for it. One of the messages said they were willing to pay 10 million civilization coins for 3 hours of Lin Yuan's guidance. 3 hours. 10 million? Lin Yuan was indeed tempted. After his own promotion to 3rd-rank citizen, the congratulatory gift from the Cosmic Human Alliance was also of this amount. Moreover, for guidance it was not necessary to do one-on-one tutoring. One could easily teach a class with dozens of people at once. Even Lin Yuan could release paid videos of the Marshall Path evolutionary path. Even if the price were a bit lower, as long as he, the founder, published it, would the citizens who had embarked on the Marshall Path evolutionary path not buy in? Goddess of Wisdom. Lin Yuan connected to the Goddess of Wisdom. How many citizens are there currently practicing the Marshall Path evolutionary path? Lin Yuan asked directly. He had uploaded the Marshall Path evolutionary path more than half a year ago. With the publicity of the Kanglin evolution ranking, he estimated that many citizens had become aware of this evolution path by now. After all, most evolution paths have various restrictions such as requiring financial support and so on. But the Marshall Path evolutionary path doesn't greatly demand financial resources. Of course, here not greatly is relative to the current living standards of citizens. At the very least, one should not eat too lightly since practicing martial arts requires the support of qi and blood, and every meal should contain meat. And this requirement poses no difficulty for human citizens. In the starfaring era, even if you completely lie flat and do not work, you can still receive welfare payments from the government every month. As long as there are no demands for the quality of life, there are no problems. Currently, the number of citizens who have completed the innate chapter of the Marshall Path evolutionary path is 1232, and for the Grandmaster chapter, there are none. The Goddess of Wisdom provided the answer. So soon. Lin Yuan was somewhat surprised. You must know, the innate chapter of the Marshall Path evolutionary path corresponds to innate realm martial Taoists. And in the martial world, innate realm martial Taoists could dominate an area. The great Zen temple, with 1,000 years of heritage, had several thousands of martial monks but only just over 50 who had reached the innate realm. But Lin Yuan quickly reconsidered and felt it was normal. This is Kanglin Star, where technology is incredibly advanced. Although the Marshall Path evolutionary path doesn't demand much financially, if one has abundant financial resources, for the Grandmaster chapter and Great Grandmaster chapter one might have to rely on oneself, but for the innate chapter it's still possible to utilize external resources. In the martial world, Methods for quick advancement in the innate realm include consuming heavenly spirit fruits. And these so-called heavenly spirit fruits in the main world would probably be some sort of spiritual objects, which somewhat positioned citizens are likely able to purchase. Chapter 54. Choices. However, while reaching the innate realm is easy, progressing to Grandmaster and Great Grandmaster is difficult. Lin Yuan silently thought to himself. The innate realm corresponds to the evolvers of the Cosmic Human Alliance who have not yet entered a rank. The Grandmaster, on the other hand, is a ranked evolver. Wanting to step into the Grandmaster realm through the martial path, evolutionary path, required perfect mastery of one's own power, something that external forces couldn't assist with. Virtual World Kanglan Star, Central Plaza area. Lin Yuan's figure suddenly appeared here. Kanglan Evolution Ranking. Lin Yuan looked up towards the distant majestic leaderboard. At the top of the 8th line, the words Martial Path, Evolutionary Path were engraved. Perhaps because of the significant changes in this evolution ranking, there were many more people in the Central Plaza area. What is so mysterious about the Martial Path, Evolutionary Path that it has made it into the top 8 of the evolution rankings? I heard that the second layer of this evolutionary path involves the fusion and transformation of 2 types of extreme forces, which is why it soared from 78th to 8th. The fusion and transformation of 2 extreme forces? My God! Who is the mastermind who created this evolutionary path? Not sure, but on Kanglan Star, only a few scholars who study evolutionary paths or those research teams could possibly develop such a high-level evolutionary path. Apart from them, no one else has the foundation to develop this kind of evolutionary path. The crowd in the plaza whispered among themselves. Lin Yuan listened casually. Those who could enter the virtual world were either second-level citizens or above, or evolvers with sources of information far and wide. There were all sorts of speculations about the Martial Path evolutionary path. Some even thought that the Martial Path evolutionary path must have been uploaded by scholars from other planets who specifically came to Kanglan Star. Otherwise, why had they never heard of such a potentially immense evolutionary path? Lin Yuan remained expressionless. The discussing crowd would never dream that the creator of the Martial Path evolutionary path was him, a student who had not yet reached 20 and had just graduated. There's no need to reveal my identity now, Lin Yuan thought to himself. The founder of the Martial Path evolutionary path had already attracted the attention of various parties. If Lin Yuan were to reveal his identity, the benefits were few, but the drawbacks were plenty. Indeed, with Lin Yuan's status always capable of advancing to 4th-level citizen, he attracted the attention of the Goddess of Wisdom. With the Goddess of Wisdom's intervention, she could suppress all internal human voices. But what about externally? What about those different species? Lin Yuan, not even 20 years old, had already developed a martial path evolutionary path capable of reaching the 6th rank. Not just on Kanglan Star, but even in nearby star domains it was considered extremely prominent. And the more prominent it was, the more it would attract the attention of those different species. If it were just about another high-rank evolver, the different species might not consider it much. After all, even the strongest evolver could only dominate for a limited time. But if Lin Yuan were truly to develop the martial path evolutionary path up to the 6th rank, a completely new 6th rank evolutionary path would represent not just one 6th rank evolver but a continuous group of 6th rank evolvers. Those different species lurking in the shadows, once informed, would certainly opt to assassinate Lin Yuan. If Lin Yuan died, the martial path evolutionary path would lose its founder, making it very difficult for others to continue on this path. This was precisely why Lin Yuan could not expose his identity. Even the Goddess of Wisdom suggested that Lin Yuan keep his identity hidden. As for his citizen level, Lin Yuan's rapid multi-level advancement in citizen level was indeed somewhat strange. But who could know that the merit points Lin Yuan used to increase his citizen level were obtained through uploading the martial path evolutionary path? In the Cosmic Human Alliance, there was more than one way to earn merit points, as long as one could gain the recognition of the Goddess of Wisdom and the other 2 goddesses. Hualin Community. Residence number 118. This residence was a gift of apology from Chu Xiu's grandfather to Lin Yuan during a family banquet at the Lin family a while ago. Although it couldn't compare to the mansions worth tens of millions in Shueiyue residential complex, it was still valued at 5 to 6 million, which was far superior to the previous residence where Lin Yuan and his family lived. Afterward, Lin Yuan let his parents move in, since he spent most of his time in Shueiyue residential complex, and this residence was not needed. Early morning. Lin Yuan was sitting on the living room sofa. I really became an evolver? At that moment, Lin Yuan's father, Lin Shouqing, rushed out, full of disbelief. He felt his body brimming with strength, a warm current flowing through his limbs and bones. Xiao Yuan, what on earth is going on? His mother, Lu Qiong, also had an incredulous look on her face. They had just woken up this morning to find Lin Yuan standing in front of their bed, telling them that they had become evolvers. Initially, Lin Shouqing and Lu Qiong did not believe it. Becoming an evolver was not that easy. It was said that many evolution paths required enduring brutal training, and only those who could withstand it had any hope of becoming evolvers. Yet they had been living a life of utter comfort recently. With Lin Yuan's influence, Lin Shouqing's position had risen several ranks, which was truly like riding the spring breeze. There was simply no precondition for becoming evolvers. But now, feeling their bodies as if rejuvenated and the warm current continuously circulating within them, one could only imagine the astonishment in the hearts of Lin Shouqing and Lu Qiong. Don't worry, I purchased a special potion and used it while you were sleeping so you could wake up as evolvers, Lin Yuan explained with a smile. In fact, last night, Lin Yuan had performed the marrow cleansing for Lin Shouqing and Lu Qiong. With Lin Yuan's strength, even a simple marrow cleansing could significantly enhance their physiques, meeting the standards of an evolver. Ah, that special potion must be expensive, right? Xiao Yuan, don't be reckless with money. Your dad and I don't necessarily need to become evolvers. Upon hearing this, Lu Qiong immediately asked with concern. Lin Shouqing also nodded incessantly at the side. It was said that even the lowest grade genetic potion cost 1 million civilization coins and also required corresponding permissions. And for both of them it would be 2 million, which was more money than they could ever earn in their lifetimes. Don't worry, it wasn't much money. It's part of the benefits for evolvers, Lin Yuan said casually. For him, the marrow cleansing did not cause any loss of primordial qi, with Tai Yin and Tai Yang converting into each other, taking only a few breaths to recover. Moreover, this marrow cleansing was far more effective than any genetic potion. Genetic potions work by replacing a few genes in the body to strengthen oneself. Once someone takes a genetic potion, it is as if their path is permanently fixed. They cannot switch to other evolution paths. But marrow cleansing merely enhances the physique, allowing Lin Shouqing and his wife to take any evolution path they choose in the future, leveraging their strong physiques to achieve twice the result with half the effort. Ah, I want to become an evolver too. His sister, Lin Yi, came over, her big eyes blinking as she looked at Lin Yuan. You are still too young. Don't rush. Give it a few more years. Lin Yuan, dismissing the completely crestfallen expression on his sister's face, said a few perfunctory words. Although Lin Yi did not believe this reasoning, the fact remained. Even if they were truly to undergo marrow cleansing, it had to be considered only after full physical development. Otherwise, it might prematurely fix the body and lead to consequences like halting its development. Who would have thought I, Lin Shouqing, would one day become an evolver in this lifetime? Lin Shouqing said with an emotional look on his face as he listened to Lin Yuan's explanation. It is often said that a son relies on his father, and whether it's a case of officials or rich second generation, it seems it has reversed in the case of Lin Shouqing now. Nighttime. Shueiyue Residential Complex. Lin Yuan was seated cross-legged in the underground training arena. A layer of light screen appeared in front of him, constantly flashing various evolution paths. Having restored his full strength, Lin Yuan planned to purchase one evolution path, to comprehend and perfect his own martial Tao. The evolution paths Lin Yuan was interested in were mainly 4th-rank evolution paths and 5th-rank evolution paths. And adding the cost of direct purchase, naturally they are not cheap. With Lin Yuan's current financial status, he could afford only one. After selecting for a long while, Lin Yuan finally narrowed down to a choice from 3 evolution paths. These 3 evolution paths were the Golem evolution path, the Force evolution path, the Myriad Forms evolution path. Chapter 55 Chikuin Star Domain. Each of the 3 evolutionary paths has its strengths and focuses on different aspects. The Golem evolution path is created by studying the flesh of a starry sky alien race, known as golems. When cultivated to the extreme, one can incarnate as a golem. Of course, it is a weakened version of the golem. The golem race is a powerful alien race whose physical bodies can traverse the cosmic starry skies. Although the golem race is rare, every adult golem is capable of contending with 6th-rank human evolvers in strength. Even a weakened version of a golem, incarnated through the golem evolution skill, can be comparable to 4th or 5th-rank evolvers. Incarnating as a golem? Forget it. Lin Yuan pondered carefully for a while and shook his head. It's undeniable that the golem evolution path has its unique insights into the transformation of the physical body. This is also why Lin Yuan included this evolution path as one of the final 3 options. However, the ultimate stage of cultivating this evolution skill requires altering one's bodily form, which Lin Yuan found somewhat unacceptable at the moment. It's not that Lin Yuan finds the appearance of the golem race unattractive, but once he starts cultivating this evolution skill, he would have to follow through to the end. Even if Lin Yuan, with his against heaven's understanding, were to find a way to start over, it would certainly be incredibly troublesome. With that in mind, Lin Yuan turned to the Origin Force evolution skill. The Force evolution path is a 5th-rank evolution skill that focuses on comprehending the ubiquitous origin force within the cosmic starry skies. Origin force is a very special energy. Unlike the extreme energies of Tai Yin and Tai Yang alone, it can encompass everything. This is somewhat similar to the Tao of Taiji that emerges from the fusion of Tai Yin and Tai Yang. As for the final Myriad Appearances evolution path, it leans more towards the evolution of the spirit and soul. It excels in soul attacks and can be seen as an upgraded version of the Psyche Master evolution path. The Force evolution path it is, Lin Yuan decided in his heart. The similarities between the Force evolution path and the Tao of Taiji within the Martial Tao path make this choice more beneficial for Lin Yuan. Beep! As 40 million civilization currency was deducted, Lin Yuan immediately received the complete Force evolution path. Unlike buying physical items, virtual things like evolution paths can be obtained instantly. Tisk! It's really expensive. Lin Yuan commented with some emotion. But since it wasn't his own money being spent, but rather the credit limit from the central bank, he didn't feel the slightest bit of heartache. Open, Lin Yuan's mind moved slightly. The icon belonging to the Force evolution path immediately became blurry. The first thing that caught his eye was a red font warning. This evolution path must not be disclosed to others, or else it will be subjected to the Supreme Court's judgment. In the Cosmic Human Alliance, any evolution path is legally protected. Unauthorized sharing is prohibited. Ordinary citizens have 2 ways to obtain an evolution path. One is, like Lin Yuan, to directly purchase with civilization currency. However, normal citizens usually buy the evolutionary paths piece by piece. For example, if they are buying the 5th-rank Force evolution path, they would first choose to purchase the 1st-rank section. After completing the 1st rank, they would go on to buy the 2nd-rank section. This way, the financial burden is greatly reduced. A complete Force evolution path is worth 40 million, but if it's just the 1st-rank section, it might be acquired for tens of thousands. The second way is through a contract with other powers if one really doesn't have the money. The power would sponsor you and give you the chance to become an evolver. If you eventually become an evolver, you must serve the power for 50 years or 100 years. If you don't become an evolver in the end, it's likely you'll have to serve that power for most of your life. The powers here could be official or unofficial. Lin Yuan, having previously been included in the compulsory conscription quota, considered signing a contract with a power to become an evolver first. However, reservists spotted by the military district seldom get poached by unofficial powers. I wonder how much the Martial Dao evolutionary path is selling for now. Lin Yuan suddenly thought. After uploading the Martial Dao evolution path, Lin Yuan set the price for the first rank content at 10,000 civilization currency. There was no choice, as the Martial Dao evolutionary path was just a quasi-second rank evolution path when Lin Yuan uploaded it. Even with a theoretical potential of third rank, it still couldn't compare with the Force evolution path. Setting the price at 10,000 civilization currency was within a reasonable range. As for the content of the second rank of the Martial Dao path, due to its connection with the Dao of Taiji, Lin Yuan directly set a high price of 500,000. A few days ago, Lin Yuan learned that over 1,000 citizens were cultivating the Martial Dao evolution path. If these 1,000+ people only purchased the first rank content, then it's sold for over 10 million in total. After the official 7/10 share deduction, that leaves over 3 million. After related taxes and fees, Lin Yuan would get roughly 2 million in hand. Of course, this doesn't rule out the possibility that a few wealthy individuals bought the complete Martial Dao evolution path outright. I'll know in a few more months. Lin Yuan thought to himself. The revenue split for evolution paths is settled once a year in the virtual world. Gathering his thoughts, Lin Yuan began to formally view the Force evolution path. Before the main text of the evolution skill, there's a section on its origins. Cosmic Human Alliance Moon Spirit Star. Moon Spirit Star is a higher-grade life planet in the Chiquin Star domain. Kanglin Star also belongs to the Chiquin Star domain, but it is a middle-grade life planet. Chiquin Star domain possesses 8 major star systems, each encompassing hundreds of billions of stars, as well as more than 120,000 life planets. The origin force of the universe is a very special energy. It's gentle, and it's vast. Lin Yuan read carefully. At the same time, your Against Heaven's understanding allows you to gloss over the Force evolution path and arrive at an insight into the essence of origin force. As if in a trance, Lin Yuan seemed to find himself among the cosmic starry skies. Here, countless forms of energy existed. There was the power of Taiyang, the power of Taiyin, and more so, the origin force. Lin Yuan could feel the affinity the origin force had for him. He even attempted to control this gentle power. He didn't know how much time had passed. Suddenly, Lin Yuan opened his eyes. What's this? Lin Yuan looked down at his hands. He saw that at some point, a layer of grime had appeared on the surface of his skin. Have I completed the origin force body refining? Lin Yuan quickly realized. Body refining with origin force is one of the signs of great proficiency in controlling the origin force within the Force evolution path. One engages the omnipresent origin force of the cosmic starry sky to refine the body. How much time has passed? Lin Yuan glanced at the time. 8 hours. A shock went through Lin Yuan's heart. He had been immersed in cultivation for such a long time. If other evolvers who were practicing the evolution skill of origin force knew that Lin Yuan merely took 8 hours to reach great proficiency in controlling origin force and had completed origin force body refining, they would probably feel suicidal. In the practice of origin force evolution skill, the hardest step is to perceive the existence of origin force. Just this aspect alone usually requires several years for ordinary evolvers to experience and feel. As for quickly advancing to great proficiency in origin force and body refining, don't even think about it without several decades. Unless one's physique is special and innately close to the universe's origin force, that's roughly the time frame. But Lin Yuan took only 8 hours. This was simply freakish. Body refining with origin force did not cause any rejection by the Taiyin and Taiyang powers within my body. It seems this evolution path is very suitable for my understanding. Lin Yuan nodded slightly, feeling that his choice did not have any mistakes. Within the cosmic starry skies, various complex energies intertwined with each other. Without the guidance of the origin force evolution path, even with Lin Yuan's Against Heaven's understanding, to lock onto a type of energy that suits oneself from so many energies, it would take a terrifying amount of time. Not to mention, the universe's origin force is a very suitable power for Lin Yuan. With the Tao of Taiji as the foundation, and the universe's origin force as the main body, Lin Yuan sat cross-legged, faintly seeing the direction towards the third rank. In the Dragon Tiger world, Lin Yuan had reached the second layer limit with the Tao of Taiji and even had 1 foot into the third rank. But ultimately, he was not at the third rank. Now, however, as he continually grasped the essence of origin force, Lin Yuan was not far from stepping into the third rank. Time had passed by another 8 hours. While Lin Yuan continued to be engrossed in comprehending the Tao of origin force, a female mechanic robot arrived at the underground training field, pulling a trolley in front of Lin Yuan. "Master, it's time to eat," the female mechanic robot said. In the interstellar age, most families arranged for a housekeeper robot at home. This female mechanic robot was the housekeeper robot bought by Lin Yuan, responsible for housework, cooking, acting as a bodyguard, and so on. When Lin Yuan lived with his parents, his mother, Lu Qiong, disliked the soulless food prepared by robots. She usually cooked herself. Lin Yuan didn't have such feelings. With his current powerful digestive abilities, he wouldn't have any problems even with raw food. Opening the dining table, the housekeeper robot served 7 or 8 dishes. They were mostly meat dishes, cultivated from the genes of various enormous starry sky beasts, containing an incredibly high amount of energy. If an ordinary citizen ate this meat, just 2 or 3 bites would be overwhelming, but Lin Yuan was different. With his powerful body, digesting this meat was only a matter of 1 or 2 hours. About 10 minutes later, Lin Yuan finished all the food. In fact, with Lin Yuan's current conditions, he could completely rely on taking nutrient solutions to maintain the nutrients required by the body. But years of dietary habits made Lin Yuan still prefer to eat various kinds of visible food. Just as Lin Yuan was preparing to continue immersing himself in cultivation, a video call suddenly popped into his view. "Who's looking for me?" Lin Yuan raised an eyebrow. He glanced at the caller ID. It was Mr. Liao. Chapter 56. Combat Power Glasses. Mr. Liao is the chairman of the Dongning City Evolvers Association. Lin Yuan had met with him a few times and they got along quite well. Click to answer the call. Mr. Liao's hologram appeared in front of Lin Yuan. "Mr. Lin, how are you considering the matter from last time?" Mr. Liao asked with a smile. The matter from last time, Lin Yuan recalled. During the Lin family's banquet, Mr. Liao, the chairman of the Evolvers Association, personally visited to invite Lin Yuan to represent Dongning City in the Kanglan Star Arena competition. As for the reward, as long as Lin Yuan managed to rank within the top 5,000 in the Kanglan Star Arena competition, the Evolvers Association of Dongning City would provide 50 million yuan as a reward. Of course, what Lin Yuan truly valued was not the 50 million, but rather the rewards given by Kanglan Star officials for placing within the top 3,000, or even within the top 1,000 or 500. There were many kinds of rewards. Cash, in fact, was the least valuable among them. All kinds of cosmic spiritual objects, many evolution paths, even treasures of different species, all were included in the list. Furthermore, exchanging blows with other evolvers. For Lin Yuan, that was also a good thing. With his against heaven's understanding, he could glimpse the strengths and weaknesses of the opponent's evolution paths, although it couldn't compare to directly reading the evolution paths. If quality was insufficient, quantity would make up for it. The most important thing was that the virtual world hosted the arena competition. This was equivalent to Lin Yuan not having to risk anything. He didn't even need to travel to gain all the aforementioned benefits. "No problem." Lin Yuan nodded. "That's good." Mr. Liao breathed a sigh of relief internally. Compared to other evolvers, Lin Yuan was still a second-layer citizen. While the Evolvers Association could indeed manage evolvers, they had no control over higher-level citizens. Therefore, he was exceptionally polite to Lin Yuan, much warmer than he was towards any first-rank 12-segment evolvers. "By the way, if Mr. Lin has time, could you come to the association tomorrow? There are 3 other evolvers who will be participating in the arena competition with you. You could get to know each other in advance." After all, there is a team match in the competition and you will need to cooperate with each other. Mr. Liao said cautiously. No problem. Lin Yuan replied with a nod. Since becoming an evolver, the number of other evolvers Lin Yuan had met could be counted on one hand. Now presented with the opportunity to interact with other evolvers, he wasn't about to let it slip away. Who knows, maybe he could gain something from them with his against heaven's understanding. Those who had been chosen by Mr. Liao to participate in the competition were probably all first-rank 12-segment evolvers. Evolution paths practiced by evolvers of this level were generally not simple. After finishing his conversation with Mr. Liao, Lin Yuan continued to immerse himself in comprehending the Force Evolution Path. Lin Yuan was comprehending the Force Evolution Path, not practicing it. He was integrating the Force Evolution Path into his own martial Tao through the way of Taiji. That is what Lin Yuan was doing. Comprehending other evolution paths certainly did happen among evolvers, but like Lin Yuan, directly assimilating an entire evolution system was quite alarming to hear. Yet Lin Yuan was confident about it. Firstly, the Taiji Dao was quite compatible with the cosmic origin force. Secondly, given the exaggerated efficiency of his against heaven's understanding, completing this task was merely a matter of time, whether it takes months or 1 or 2 years. The next day, Lin Yuan ended a night of practice and got ready to visit the Evolvers Association. Ordinary citizens might feel listless the next day without sleep, but for an almost third-rank evolver like Lin Yuan, this was hardly an issue. With the Tao of Taiji and the continuous cycle of Yin and Yang, it was rare for him to be in a bad state. No matter how great the expenditure, a few cycles of Tai Yin and Tai Yang would restore him. Mr. Lin. The security guard at the Shuiwei residential complex saluted Lin Yuan with respect upon seeing him. Those who lived in this complex were invariably wealthy or distinguished. Moreover, when Lin Yuan initially purchased his residence here, the sales manager Mr. Wang's extremely respectful demeanor had been observed by many. Even if unaware of Lin Yuan's exact status, it was clear he was not someone they could afford to overlook or treat negligently. Whoosh! Lin Yuan walked out of the Shuiwei residential complex. A sleek black hovercar was parked on the roadside. It was indeed the dedicated car from the Evolvers Association, waiting outside the Shuiwei residential complex from early in the morning. Mr. Lin, please come inside. A tall man in black got out of the car and respectfully opened the door for Lin Yuan. With current scientific technology, autonomous driving had long been perfected, but when receiving important guests, real drivers were still often preferred. After all, compared to cold intelligence, it's more pleasant to interact with a living person. The Evolvers Association. The 23rd floor. 3 figures were sitting casually. I don't know what's gotten into Mr. Liao this time, inviting some unknown person to the competition, the figure on the left said casually, his tone clearly dissatisfied. His name was Chao Rong, an evolver with impressive evolutive talent. He had already reached the level of a first-rank 12-segment evolver. He had participated in several previous competitions, and while he hadn't achieved any impressive rankings, his performances had been good. The 4 evolvers from Dongning City who were to participate in the arena competition all knew each other quite well. However, at this year's competition, Mr. Liao intervened, forcibly replacing one of them and enlisting another evolver to join the 3 in the competition. Chao Rong understood Mr. Liao's intention. Their past performances in several competitions had been poor and he wanted to improve the results by changing members. But randomly replacing a member with someone unfamiliar could lead to the final results not improving and possibly even declining. Since Mr. Liao sees potential, he must indeed have some skill. The figure on the right hesitated for a moment before speaking up. This figure was named Lu Shiguang, a bloodline evolver who was now at the first-rank 12th segment. Humph! Gao Rong Snok Gon Li. He then turned to look at the figure seated in the center. He was the strongest evolver among the 3 of them. Chao Rong, you make a move later, try to test his limits. Zhong Bai's eyes narrowed slightly as he slowly spoke. In Dongning City, among the evolvers eligible for the arena competition, Zhong Bai was undoubtedly the strongest. In past arena competitions, Zhong Bai performed well, almost breaking into the top 5,000 once. No problem. Chao Rong immediately became excited. After discussing the new member, they started talking about their own matters. I brought back a good thing from Heiwu Star this time. Chao Rong took out a pair of black-framed glasses and introduced with a hint of pride. These glasses are the latest research achievement from Heiwu Star. They can capture minute pieces of information and then provide an approximate assessment based on the combat power. Oh! Lu Shiguang looked curious. Zhong Bai also looked over. Hehe. Let me show you guys. Chao Rong put on the black-framed glasses and then looked towards Lu Shiguang. Shiguang's combat power is 986, which is above average for the first rank, 12th segment. Chao Rong pressed the side of the glasses and said, "The combat power of the first rank, 12th segment is usually between 800 and 1100. My combat power is 1003, somewhat stronger than you, Shiguang." Chao Rong said, quite pleased with himself. "Take a look at my combat power." Zhong Bai couldn't help but speak up. "Big brother Zhong, your combat power, hiss, is actually 1098, almost reaching the first rank's limit." Chao Rong, wearing the glasses, looked towards Zhong Bai and exclaimed with slight surprise. He knew Zhong Bai was the strongest among the three of them, but he hadn't anticipated Zhong Bai to be so formidable. "It seems quite accurate." Zhong Bai nodded slightly, making a comment. Recently, he had made further progress on his evolution path and was indeed nearing the limit of the first rank. He hadn't told anyone about this, yet now Chao Rong had noticed it, evidently showing the glasses were no simple accessory. "What is the observation limit of these glasses?" Zhong Bai suddenly asked. "Ordinary second-layer evolvers should be detectable." Gao Dong Viplit. As it was the newest product and additional functions were still under development, there were many inadequacies in the glasses at the present. "Second rank, that's enough," Lu Shiguang remarked with a sense of emotion. There wasn't a single true second-rank evolver throughout Dongning City, so these glasses were quite practical. "That's for sure." Chao Rong spoke with a tone of self-satisfaction. To acquire these glasses, he had paid a significant price. Naturally, he was extremely happy to be able to show off in front of his friends. Just then, the elevator doors slowly opened. Zhong Bai, Chao Rong, and the others immediately stopped their conversation. It must be that person arriving. Chao Rong immediately felt assured. Mr. Liao had scheduled a time with them, which was about now. "Don't worry, big brother Zhong." Chao Rong took a step out, not forgetting to nod towards Zhong Bai. Soon, a young man stepped out of the elevator. "Is this the person Mr. Liao recommended?" Lu Shiguang scrutinized him carefully. After looking for a while, Lu Shiguang felt something was amiss. Why hasn't Chao Rong spoken until now? Wasn't he supposed to test that person's limits? Zhong Bai beside him also looked puzzled. The two of them subconsciously turned to look at Chao Rong. What they saw was Chao Rong standing rigid, and upon closer examination, it became apparent that his forehead was beaded with sweat. Even his legs were trembling faintly. "Take this." Chao Rong's right hand pressed the glasses, his thoughts in turmoil. In his view at that moment, all he saw were the blood-red warning hints displayed by the glasses. Extreme danger alert. Subject detected. Combat power, 2000. Combat power, 3000. Combat power, 5000. Combat power, 9000. Boom. The black-framed glasses that Chao Rong was wearing exploded outright. Chapter 57. My combat power is only 1000. He must have at least 10,000. Evolvers Association, 23rd layer. The shattered glasses fell to the ground. Zhong Bai and Lu Shiguang couldn't help but their expressions changed. They knew Chao Rong's personality well. He was fearless of both heaven and earth. Since he had just agreed to test Lin Yuan's strength, it was unlikely that he would back out halfway. Unless, Zhong Bai and Lu Shiguang exchanged a glance. As evolvers with highly developed brains, several speculations quickly formed in their minds. Combat power glasses were the latest scientific achievement of Heiwu Star. Although they were not yet perfected and could malfunction or explode, if that were the only issue, Chao Rong certainly wouldn't have displayed such trepidation. It was very likely that, before the glasses exploded, Chao Rong saw something through them. It's best not to offend this person. In the blink of an eye, many thoughts surfaced in Zhong Bai's mind, and he immediately took a step forward, his face breaking into a warm smile. "Mr. Lin, the three of us have been waiting here for you for a long time." "It is I who have arrived late," Lin Yuan replied, a hint of surprise flickering in his eyes. His gaze swept over the fragments of glasses, scattered on the ground without leaving a trace. Just now, he had vaguely sensed a weak feeling of being watched. It must have originated from these broken glasses. However, this feeling of being watched was very faint. At most, it could slightly perceive part of Lin Yuan's strength. As for his real trump cards, they were hidden inside his body. Unless he unleashed his full power, they would be very difficult to detect. "This way, please. Mr. Liao has specially prepared food from other planets, which can be somewhat helpful to evolvers like us," Zhong Bai said enthusiastically. Lu Shiguang also showed a smile on his face. "I wonder what exactly did Chao Rong see?" Lu Shiguang's gaze occasionally swept over the distraught Chao Rong. If Lin Yuan were not present, he would probably have eagerly asked by now. At the dining table, Lin Yuan took a sip of the wine in front of him. "Good wine," Lin Yuan commented with appreciation. His comment on the wine, of course, referred to more than just the taste. As the wine went down his throat, it began to slowly improve his body. An ordinary citizen who drank this wine could probably extend their life by 3 to 5 years. Even Lin Yuan's already strong physique could feel a slight boiling of his blood and qi. "This wine is called Tianji wine, a treasured collection of Brother Zhong. If it weren't for Mr. Lin's visit, we wouldn't have had the pleasure," said Lu Shiguang, unable to hold back his words. Tianji wine, even for first and second layer evolvers, was a luxury item. The price of a pot of Tianji wine on the market ranged from 5 to 10 million yuan, and Lin Yuan's glass of Tianji wine was valued at 500,000. It was worth the salary of an ordinary citizen's decades of work for just one sip of this wine. Of course, the reason Tianji wine was so expensive was, first, because of its delicious taste. Second, it was due to the slight enhancement to one's physique it provided. Zhong Bai had sneakily brought this pot of Tianji wine from home. He stored it in the Evolvers Association, wanting to savor it slowly. He wouldn't have been willing to bring out the Tianji wine if it hadn't been for realizing the importance of Lin Yuan, and if Chao Rong's recent acts hadn't potentially caused some misunderstanding. Following that, the few exchanged conversations for a while. Lin Yuan also gained some understanding of Zhong Bai and the other two. Zhong Bai was pursuing an evolutionary path called Mind Power Sorcerer, controlling mind power capable of killing from a distance. The Mind Power Sorcerer evolutionary path was one of the more widely spread evolution paths within human civilization. It fundamentally involved continuously developing one's mind power to then influence reality. Mastering this evolution path to the 4th or 5th rank could, with just a thought, cause a volcanic eruption or movement of the Earth's crust, scenes of natural disasters. Lu Shiguang, however, was a bloodline evolver, with all of his abilities stemming from his own bloodline. Lu Shiguang's bloodline quality reached the 2nd layer. Nonetheless, even as a bloodline evolver whose cultivation difficulty was lower than that of other evolver paths, advancing from the 1st to 2nd layer was not an easy feat. Additionally, the concentration of Lu Shiguang's bloodline was not very high. He had been stuck at the 12th segment of the 1st rank for over a decade. Interacting with Zhong Bai and Lu Shiguang had been quite beneficial for Lin Yuan. As they chatted face to face, Lin Yuan's gaze swept over the others. His against heaven's understanding occasionally provided feedback, granting Lin Yuan some enlightenment. Especially, Zhong Bai's Mind Power Sorcerer evolution path insights could entirely complement the martial path evolutionary path. After all, the so-called mind power was essentially the power of the soul, a kind of psychic force. An hour later, Lin Yuan exchanged virtual world citizen numbers with Zhong Bai and the others before excusing himself to leave. 23rd layer inside a room. Zhong Bai and the others returned here after seeing off Lin Yuan. Indeed, not simple. Zhong Bai frowned as he thought for a while, then spoke. The not simple he referred to naturally meant Lin Yuan. If at the beginning he had been cautious because he couldn't figure out Lin Yuan's strength, as well as because of Chao Rong's behavior, then after having a discussion with Lin Yuan, he naturally had other thoughts in his mind. Putting other things aside, Zhong Bai clearly perceived that Lin Yuan had an exceptional understanding of the nature of evolution paths. When asking about his own psychic evolution path, every question Lin Yuan asked was something Zhong Bai had pondered without answer, even having to consult higher-rank evolvers with great effort to barely resolve. But Lin Yuan sorted it out in a few words. Keep in mind, the evolution path that Lin Yuan cultivated was not that of a psychic. Without having studied it, yet already grasping the gist and even occasionally offering insights that greatly benefited Zhong Bai. Chao Rong, what on earth happened to you? What was that just now? Lu Shiguang nodded in agreement, at the same time turning to look at Chao Rong beside him. At this moment, Chao Rong was unusually silent. Mr. Lin's combat power. Upon hearing this, Chao Rong's face showed a look of fear. Indeed, it was combat power. Zhong Bai and Lu Shiguang both confirmed in their hearts. They had previously speculated that Chao Rong was affected by having seen Lin Yuan's combat power through combat strength glasses, hence his behavior afterward. How much combat power does Mr. Lin actually have? Lu Shiguang immediately asked. My combat power is only 1,000, but Mr. Lin's combat power is at least 10,000. Chao Rong's voice trembled slightly. No, it's over 10,000. The combat strength glasses had exploded from overload after detecting a combat power of 10,000. Hence Chao Rong believed that Lin Yuan's combat power was definitely more than 10,000. Over 10,000 combat power. Zhong Bai and Lu Shiguang suddenly took a deep breath. This was indeed the combat power that a true second-layer evolver would possess. Even most second-layer evolvers couldn't reach this level of combat power. Mr. Liao didn't say that the people invited this time were about the same level as us. Lu Shiguang muttered to himself. They had 1,000. Lin Yuan had 10,000, no, over 10,000. How is that similar? The combat strength glasses shouldn't be mistaken. Chao Rong added from the side. If the combat strength glasses had exploded upon seeing Lin Yuan without capturing any data, it would have been possible that there was a fault with the glasses themselves, as they were a new type of technological product and the possibility of malfunction cannot be discounted. But the fact that the glasses exploded after capturing the general data of Lin Yuan's combat power due to being over the limit, this only indicated that the glasses configuration was inadequate, yet the information captured was not problematic. What are you thinking about? Seeing the two fall silent, Zhong Bai suddenly laughed. Isn't it a good thing that Mr. Lin is so strong? Zhong Bai asked in return. Facing the upcoming tournament, the stronger one's power, the higher the ranking one could achieve, and even if one couldn't squeeze into the top 3,000, they could still receive Mr. Liao's personal compensation. Indeed, it's a good thing. Lu Shiguang and Chao Rong exchanged a glance, their eyes suddenly lighting up. They instantly realized that for them, Lin Yuan was a formidable pillar. Clinging to him might allow them to climb dozens of ranks in the tournament. Evolvers Association, 30th floor. After leaving the 23rd floor, Lin Yuan didn't return to the Shuiwei residential complex. Instead, he went to the 30th floor, planning to meet Mr. Liao in person. In addition to getting acquainted with the three teammates for the upcoming tournament, Lin Yuan had another purpose in coming here personally. How did it go? Zhong Bai and the others didn't give you a hard time, did they? Mr. Liao asked with some concern. He naturally knew about the personalities of Zhong Bai, Chao Rong, and the others. He understood that it wouldn't be easy for Lin Yuan to integrate with the group. But there was also nothing he could do about it. As the chairman of the association, he had the authority to allow Lin Yuan to join, but he couldn't force Zhong Bai and his group to be without objections. It's all right. That pot of Tianji wine was quite good, Lin Yuan remarked casually. He had a very favorable impression of this wine. If it weren't too expensive, he would consider buying a few cases. Huh! Since when has Zhongbai become so generous? Mr. Liao's face showed shock. He had also coveted that pot of Tianji wine for a long time, but Zhongbai had never offered him a drink. Yet with Lin Yuan, just after a single meeting, it was brought out. Mr. Liao, another reason for my visit is to ask for your assistance with a matter. Lin Yuan didn't beat around the bush and went straight to the point. Chapter 58. Meeting Yuan Teacher. Please speak. Mr. Liao's expression became serious, yet he felt relieved inside. For him, having Lin Yuan make a request was less worrisome than Lin Yuan having no desires or demands. I would like a virtual world cabin slot. Lin Yuan said. A virtual world cabin slot could scan the entire body, thereby perfectly simulating the flesh body, and then synchronize it with the flesh body in the virtual world. Having returned from his travel through dimensions, Lin Yuan's strength had greatly increased, but his virtual world flesh body remained as it was before the journey. If it were other evolvers, they wouldn't have much need for a virtual world cabin slot. After all, it would take them who knows how long to enhance their strength even once. However, Lin Yuan possessed an against heaven's understanding, and his own strength could be said to be increasing every moment. Not to mention that every return from his journeys brought about a qualitative change. Therefore, he needed the virtual world cabin slot to constantly update his strength within the virtual world. A virtual world cabin slot? No problem. I will have someone send it to Mr. Lin right away. You're still at the Shuiwei residential complex, correct? Mr. Liao agreed without a second thought. After all, a virtual world cabin slot was not a restricted item. As long as someone was an evolver, they had the right to apply for the use of a virtual world cabin slot from the association. Giving Lin Yuan one was no big deal. Objective achieved. Lin Yuan chatted idly with Mr. Liao for a few more sentences. Then he stood up and returned to the Shuiwei residential complex. That afternoon, Lin Yuan received the virtual world cabin slot. Following the usage instructions to scan his body with the slot and copy it perfectly, Lin Yuan immediately connected his consciousness to the virtual world. Inside his personal room, Lin Yuan unleashed his full power in one strike, and a terrifying force spread, directly piercing through a mountain peak in the distance. Now that's more like it. A smile appeared on Lin Yuan's face. On Kanglan Star, Lin Yuan couldn't afford to strike at full power, let alone strike casually. After all, with his strength, a casual strike could result in the deaths of tens of thousands of citizens. But in the virtual world, all of this could be ignored. With Lin Yuan's current citizen privileges, the size of his personal space had reached 10,000 square kilometers, and it could simulate any environment, which was more than enough for him to indulge in. Let's see the number of practitioners currently on the Martial Path evolutionary path. Lin Yuan opened his personal interface and viewed the details under the Martial Path evolutionary path. Evolution Path, Martial Dao. Number of practitioners in the Innate chapter, 2,598. Number of practitioners in the Grandmaster chapter, 0. It's increased by over 1,000. Lin Yuan was slightly surprised. When he had checked a few days ago, the number of citizens practicing the Innate chapter was just over 1,200. But Lin Yuan soon reasoned that it might be the publicity effect of the Kanglan evolution ranking. The Martial Path evolutionary path had already made it into the top 8 of the evolution ranking, so it certainly wasn't low in exposure. Let's check the private messages. If the price for mentorship is right, I may as well accept a few. Lin Yuan began to browse through his private messages. Many people were interested in the Martial Path evolutionary path and were willing to pay a hefty sum to ask Lin Yuan, the path's founder, for guidance. This way, they could also gain a clearer view of the characteristics of this evolution path and whether it was truly suitable for them. How many flesh bodies have I gone through? Which evolution path is right for me? Within a vast hall, Lulan he complained as he climbed out of the nurturing pod. He stood about 1.5 meters tall, with a forehead covered in mysterious patterns. Young Master Lulan, within the many evolution paths of human civilization, there is not a single path that is smooth sailing, said a black-robed elder standing beside him respectfully. I know, Lulan, he said helplessly. He glanced down at his brand-new body and grimaced. Looks like I have to start all over again. A few years ago, Lulan he had taken a fancy to the heterogeneous blood evolution path and purchased a large supply of precious blood from giant star beasts for cultivation. The heterogeneous blood evolution path allowed one to accommodate many giant beast bloodlines and eventually merge them into one's body. Once cultivated to the extreme, one could easily transform into any star beast or ferocious beast encountered. This evolution path was incredibly powerful, especially in the early stages. Of course, there were risks. Different ferocious beast bloods could reject each other, and a moment's carelessness could lead to a body exploding. Lulan he had died because of this method. However, Lulan he always synchronized his consciousness with the cloud, and with preparations made in advance, he had replicated an untrained body. After exploding and dying, his consciousness transferred to the new body, perfectly avoiding true death. Although he had survived, the cost was huge. First of all, much of the investment into cultivating the heterogeneous blood path had gone to waste. But Lulan he wasn't concerned about that. His father held a high position and had plenty of money. It was the wasted time that was the real issue. Xiao He, this time in choosing your evolution path, you should exclude those that rely on external forces or items, a gentle female voice advised. Lulan he knew it was his mother reminding him. Okay. Lulan he sighed. He wasn't suited to walk the evolutionary path of his parents, so he could only pick another suitable one from the various other evolutionary paths. But after over 10 continuous attempts, every time he practiced halfway he would die. Just pick a random one this time. Lulan he was a bit despairing, but still, following his mother's instructions, he skipped over those evolutionary paths that relied on external forces and objects. Lulan he started browsing at random. The potential of this evolutionary path actually reaches the 6th rank? Lulan he's gaze suddenly stopped, looking at an evolutionary path named Martial Tao. Currently, only the first tier chapter and second layer chapter have been published, and even so, its theoretical potential reaches the 6th rank? Lulan he's eyes showed surprise. A 5th rank evolutionary path with a theoretical potential reaching the 6th rank. Isn't anything strange? After all, the difference between them is not big. But a 4th rank evolutionary path with theoretical potential reaching the 6th rank. That's somewhat unthinkable. And the Martial Tao evolutionary path that Lulan he saw had just the first tier chapter and second layer chapter, yet its theoretical potential had reached the 6th rank. That was even more surprising for Lulan he. Father said, "The goddess of wisdom doesn't lie. Let's take a look at this evolutionary path." Lulan he impulsively bought both the first tier chapter and second layer chapter of the Martial Tao evolutionary path. Then he began to read them carefully. Lulan he's expression was grave. He couldn't understand it. Ask the founder of this evolutionary path, and let him give me some guidance. After pondering for a while, Lulan he felt that the Martial Tao evolutionary path was somewhat suitable for him, so he offered a payment for its founder to give him some guidance. Let's make it 1 billion. Lulan he thought of an amount. The price for guiding him, Lulan he definitely can't be low. 1 billion should be about right. The founder's name is Yuan? Lulan he checked the detailed information of the Martial Tao evolutionary path and directly sent his request along with the payment via a private message. Shuiwei Residential Complex. Lin Yuan was browsing through private messages. Just then, a new private message came through. I'm Lulan he, hoping to receive guidance on the Martial Tao evolutionary path, and for that, I am willing to pay 1 billion civilization coins. How much? Lin Yuan read it again. 1 billion civilization coins? Lin Yuan blinked. He too could take out 1 billion civilization coins. For other entry-level evolvers, gritting their teeth and scraping together the funds, they could also come up with such an amount. But this 1 billion civilization coins was merely to ask for his guidance for 1 hour. That was a bit extravagant. Agree. Lin Yuan immediately chose to agree. Why refuse free money? As Lin Yuan accepted the request, the virtual world sent out another application. Lulan, he has invited you to his personal space. Do you accept? Agree. Lin Yuan accepted once more. Out of caution before going there, Lin Yuan adjusted his appearance a bit. The next moment, the space around him transformed. Lin Yuan appeared in a vast golden hall. In the center of the hall on the throne was a figure clad in a purple robe. This figure was only 1.5 meters tall, with a forehead covered in mysterious patterns. Upon seeing Lin Yuan, Lulan he immediately came down. He then slightly bowed to Lin Yuan, saying, "I have seen Yuan teacher." Coming from his parents' teachings, Lulan he respected any creator of an evolutionary path immensely. Chapter 59, The Mysteries of the Flesh. "Hello," Lin Yuan said with a smile. At the same time, he looked at the other person with a hint of curiosity. Lulan he's exposed personal information was scarce. Besides his name, there was only his place of residence. Thunder Rain Star Region? It was a high-level star domain very far away from Chikuan Star Domain. Lin Yuan didn't know much about it. However, to pay 100 million civilization coins just for an hour of guidance. This Lulan surely he was either rich or noble. "How does Elder Lin plan to guide me?" Lulan he asked. "You've paid the money, so you make the call," Lin Yuan said very politely. 100 million for an hour. That's nearly 30,000 civilization coins per second. The few words that Lin Yuan had just spoken had already netted him hundreds of thousands of civilization coins. "Then let's spar. My father once said, a powerful evolutionary path surely wouldn't lack combat ability." Lulan he took several steps back, his gaze growing sharper. "Be careful, Elder Lin. Although this body of mine hasn't undergone specific cultivation, it's naturally strong, not inferior to most second-rank evolvers," Lulan he warned. "Come on," Lin Yuan said, his eyes calm. Lulan he didn't give him a sense of danger. Whoosh! Lulan he's figure disappeared. In the next instant, he appeared beside Lin Yuan, and slammed a punch down. Such quick speed. Lin Yuan was somewhat surprised. He could tell that this was purely physical speed without using any other powers. Facing Lulan he's downward punch, Lin Yuan raised his right hand, blocked the punch. Then the Tao of Taiji operated, borrowing the power from that punch and directly blasting it onto Lulan he's body. Bang! Lulan he's figure flew backward, slamming hard into the ground dozens of meters away. He immediately got up from the ground, his eyes wide as he looked at Lin Yuan. "What kind of technique is this? So soft and weak. How come the punch I threw ended up hitting me?" Lulan he was somewhat annoyed. If he'd been thoroughly crushed by sheer strength, he would have accepted it. But the feeling that he was just a bit short of victory made Lulan he feel like he could win. Again, Lulan he's figure disappeared once more. Lin Yuan smiled slightly. The Tao of Taiji, the transformation of yin and yang, was best at using the opponent's force against them, the classic 4 ounces to move 1,000 pounds. An opponent like Lulan who only knew to use strength and speed without any technique, was simply naturally countered by the Tao of Taiji. Although it said that sheer force can overcome any technique, at the moment Lulan he was far from that level. "Aya!" Lulan he roared loudly, his speed increasing again as the mysterious patterns on his forehead faintly lit up. This time Lulan he had learned, not attacking Lin Yuan right away, but rather approaching Lin Yuan's blind spot from behind before making his move. Bang! As expected, Lulan he flew backward again. "I don't believe this." Lulan he stood up with a whoosh. If this had been the real world, Lulan he's body by this point would have been seriously injured. But this was the virtual world, and with just a thought, his body was restored to its original state. Shoo! Lulan he rushed in front of Lin Yuan and punched him in the shoulder. But for some reason, Lulan he felt as if there was a vortex inside Lin Yuan, into which all the external forces would merge, only to be sent back out unchanged. Bang! Lulan he crashed 100 meters away. "Don't rely solely on your strength," Lin Yuan reminded him. "If it had been a real fight, An opponent like Lulan, he wouldn't have even been able to get within 100 meters of Lin Yuan. But now that Lulan he was paying a hefty sum for Lin Yuan's guidance, it was naturally not the same treatment. Lin Yuan tried his best to advise the other party, allowing him to experience up close the vortex of the Tao of Taiji that transformed others' strength. Even to give Lulan he a deeper understanding, Lin Yuan deliberately suppressed his own strength to the first rank level. Lin Yuan had to make Lulan he feel that his money was well spent. Boom, 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 time after time. Each time Lulan he was sent flying back coughing up blood. This made Lulan he feel extremely frustrated. Why every time, he was just that little bit short. Just that little bit short. In the end. Stop. I'm done fighting. Lulan he sat down on the ground with a thud. He then had his intelligent assistant analyze the footage of their fight. Are you saying Elder Lin, from start to finish, only used first rank strength? Upon detecting this through the intelligent assistant, Lulan he was instantly shocked. He was clearly aware that his physical prototype came from an extremely rare special species deep in the universe, exchanged at great cost by his father. Having a body replicated from such a special species held tremendous potential and terrifying aptitude, reaching the level comparable to that of a second rank without any cultivation. And Elder Lin was just using first rank strength to beat him up? Elder Lin, is this the martial path, evolutionary path? Lulan he immediately jogged to Lin Yuan's side. Indeed. This is the way of Taiji. Lin Yuan gave a slight nod. The way of Taiji is not the way of strength. It leans more towards the grand momentum. Lin Yuan began explaining patiently. Lulan he seemed to understand yet not quite grasp it. This way, by injecting a wisp of the power of Taiji into your body, it can last for a month. If you ponder this wisp of Taiji power regularly, it will help you in cultivating the way of Taiji. Lin Yuan said with a smile. This method was similar to perceiving the essence of Taiyang and Tai-Yin in the true martial sword. However, with Lin Yuan's current strength, the power of Taiji would have difficulty existing outside the body for a long duration, but for Lulan he, it was enough. Okay. Lulan he nodded. At this moment, he developed a deep interest in the martial path evolutionary path. Lulan he also wanted to be as dashing as Lin Yuan, standing still and sending the enemy flying. Too cool. Seeing Lulan he's agreement, Lin Yuan placed his right hand on Lulan he's shoulder. A wisp of Taiji power, formed from the combination of the power of Tai-Yin and the power of Taiyang, slowly entered Lulan he's body. As the power of Taiji entered Lulan he's body, Lin Yuan's perception naturally spread within. What is this? Lin Yuan's pupils slightly contracted. Lulan he's physical body appeared similar to that of a normal human, but its essence was completely different. Lin Yuan noticed that the countless blood vessels within the body intertwined and combined to form certain special patterns, and at the deepest regions of his organs, at the cellular level of the microcosm, myriad runes were flowing. All of this formed a kind of perfect balance, all confined within a single body. Perfect. Truly perfect. Lin Yuan started to become captivated. Your perception is against the natural order. Observing an unknown physical body, should you gain enlightenment. Your perception is against the natural order. Observing an unknown physical body, should you gain enlightenment. Your perception is against the natural order. Observing an unknown physical body, should you gain enlightenment. Countless spiritual lights surged into Lin Yuan's mind as he began to comprehend Lulan he's physique. Lin Yuan had the feeling that if he fully understood this body, he could improve the essence of his own physique. This had tremendous special significance for Lin Yuan. In the short term, improving the physical endowment of his body in the main world would enhance the foundation of his strength and speed in the future. In the long run, every time Lin Yuan traveled through the door to the myriad realms and his consciousness descended upon a new body, each one could benefit from this understanding. During the second passage, if Lin Yuan could fully understand the essence of such a physique, it would be impossible for him to be thrown out into the wild and face a life and death crisis immediately after birth. With this kind of body as a prototype, Lin Yuan would only need a few hours to complete the transformation of an infant's body. By then, not to mention tearing apart tigers and leopards with his bare hands, he would at least not be much weaker than an adult. "Teacher Yuan, are you all right?" Lulan He, seeing that Lin Yuan had not yet removed his right hand from his shoulder, became somewhat puzzled. "I'm fine. Your physical body is somewhat special. It needs some time." Lin Yuan casually found an excuse, looking towards Lulan He's body with even more intense fervor in his gaze. This made Lulan He somewhat nervous, but recalling Lin Yuan's strength from when he had soundly defeated him, he obediently stood still. After half an hour, Lin Yuan reluctantly lifted his hand. "All done." Lin Yuan let out a light sigh of relief. Although he hadn't completely penetrated the secrets of Lulan He's body, Lin Yuan had memorized all the structures of the body. What remained was nothing more than continuing to ponder back home. "Okay. Thanks, Teacher Yuan." Lulan He also felt the power of Taiji within his body. "When the time comes, I'll seek advice from Teacher Yuan again if I have any questions." Lulan He felt he had gained a lot. Little did he realize that Lin Yuan had seen through to his very core. Shuiwei Residential Complex. Residence number 32. The underground training facility. Lin Yuan's consciousness disengaged from the virtual world. His mind was still filled with the many mysteries within Lulan He's physique. Truly, an excellent gift from heaven. Lin Yuan couldn't help but sigh. Using the door to the myriad realms, he had traveled twice through time, spending 100 years to step into the second layer. Meanwhile, this body had naturally grown into the second layer shortly after birth. Simply monstrous. This body, it must not be purely human. Lin Yuan surmised inwardly. During his perception, he vaguely sensed an ancient and vast meaning contained within. Nevertheless, as long as I comprehend it fully, it will be mine. Lin Yuan closed his eyes and continued his contemplation. In the time to follow, Lin Yuan divided some of his focus on comprehending the third rank, intending to comprehend the mysteries of this particular body, striving to fully understand this kind of physique before his third traverse, so that if his consciousness descended into the body of an infant again, he would not be as helpless as during the previous passage in dealing with extreme situations. 2 months went by in the blink of an eye. During this period, Lulan He sought out Lin Yuan twice more, paying 2 billion for the guidance. Lin Yuan seized the opportunity to take another careful look at Lulan He's physique, getting ever closer to full comprehension. One day, Lin Yuan suddenly opened his eyes, ending his seclusion for the day, because the tournament on Kanglan Star had begun. Chapter 60. Don't panic, we still have Mr. Lin. The tournament was not only popular on Kanglan Star. It was one of the hottest and most followed events across the entire Cosmic Human Alliance. After all, those who could participate in the tournament were evolvers, and specifically young evolvers under the age of 100. These evolvers were the future of the Cosmic Human Alliance. They naturally had a certain star effect. In the era of interstellar travel, the general public had long stopped idolizing those little fresh meats who were incapable of fighting. It was the powerful evolvers who attracted the attention of all citizens. Virtual World Kanglan Star. Tournament Area. A huge arena resembling an ancient Roman Colosseum, surrounded by seats that ascended from low to high, packed densely, numbering in the hundreds of thousands. At the top of the arena, on a high platform, the figures of Mr. Liao, Lin Yuan, and others appeared. This is the arena of Dongning City. The upcoming matches, if drawn to be in Dongning City, will be held here, said Mr. Liao. Actually, he was mainly speaking to Lin Yuan. Zhong Bai, Chao Rong, and others had already participated in more than one tournament and were clear about these matters. Understood. Lin Yuan looked down at the arena below, nodding as he spoke. You all need not be nervous. Just perform normally, and don't feel too pressured, comforted Mr. Liao. The tournament was about to begin, and adding pressure now would backfire, so it was better to offer some comforting words to help them relax. Mr. Liao, I wonder who our opponent from Dongning City will be this time. Have you had someone predict it yet? Lu Shiguang suddenly asked in a low voice. As soon as this was mentioned, the eyes of Chao Rong and Zhong Bai immediately lit up. Knowing your opponent in advance could give you a huge advantage. After all, most evolution paths had their strengths and weaknesses, and if one could know in advance and target them accordingly, one could at least gain a significant initiative. In cases where the strength level was similar, the outcome depended on who understood the other side better. How can you predict with so many cities on the eastern continent? Mr. Liao rolled his eyes. If it were the later stages of the tournament, when the number of participating city contestants had decreased to a certain number, it might be possible to make predictions based on past patterns. But the tournament had just started, and with nearly 10,000 cities on the eastern continent, it was simply impossible to predict. Of course, it was not possible to precisely predict which opponent it would be, but it was possible to determine a rough range. The initial opponent in the tournament was selected based on past performance. To put it simply, the strength of Dongning City's opponent could not be much stronger than that of Dongning City itself. All right, you all go get ready. In 2 hours, the tournament will begin and the opponent will be announced, Mr. Liao said. The start of the tournament was a grand event throughout Kanglan Star. Although most citizens could not enter the virtual world, they could watch the matches live through broadcast. Wow, 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 Mom. Dad, come quick and watch the tournament, Linny said while sitting on the sofa, surrounded by 4 virtual screens displaying the arena scene. All right, coming. Lin Shouqing and his wife Lu Qiong approached with smiles on their faces. They were evolvers and had the right to enter the virtual world, but since Lin Yi was not, they couldn't just leave her behind and enjoy the virtual world themselves. The couple and Lin Yuan were all evolvers. Having only Lin Yi not being an evolver had already caused her much discontent, and if they treated her differently, she would turn the whole house upside down. Where's brother? Lin Yi kept looking around. Lin Yuan was also participating in the tournament, and as a representative of Dongning City, Lin Shouqing and his wife were naturally aware of this. He'll probably appear when it starts. Lu Qiong smiled and said, I hope big brother will put in more effort. Lin Yi clenched her fists as she spoke. In this tournament, I must perform well to show father and let him know. I am not much weaker than Lin Yuan. In the virtual world, within the tournament area, Lin Yan's figure appeared, having made his decision. A year ago, at the Lin family's family banquet, his father, Lin Hao, had planned to give the advanced training spot to Lin Yuan. As a result of his speaking out of turn, the atmosphere had turned awkward. Ultimately, one influential figure after another arrived to pay respects to Lin Yuan, indirectly embarrassing his father, Lin Hao. Lin Hao was disappointed in him, thinking he was not living up to expectations. Now that Lin Yan had become an evolver, could this spot still be given away? Was it not because Lin Yan was not competent enough to become an evolver that Lin Hao had thought this way? After returning from the family banquet, Lin Hao had severely reprimanded Lin Yan all night and had even personally beaten him up. With this experience, Lin Yan finally became an evolver several months later. To this day, although he had not yet advanced, he was qualified to participate in the tournament. The scope of the tournament was all evolvers. The city representatives would face representatives from other cities, whereas freelance evolvers would face other freelance evolvers. Although Lin Hao knew that his current strength was still far inferior to Lin Yuan's. After all, the reason Mr. Liao personally visited during the banquet was something his father, Lin Hao, had later come to understand fully. But now, at least Lin Yan had the possibility to look up to Lin Yuan. If he could look up to him, then in the future he could surpass him. Has the tournament started? Hurry up and take a look. One doesn't know what achievements Dongning City will garner in this tournament. Ha ha ha. Just better not end up at the bottom like last time. Citizens of Dongning City, one after another, opened the live broadcast and watched intently. Virtual World Kanglan Star, Tournament Area. It's over, it's over. Our opponent this time is Zijing City. As the tournament officially began and upon learning who their opponent was, Chao Rong suddenly felt anxious. Lu Shiguang felt the same. Zijing City was the least desired opponent among those they had anticipated facing. In the last tournament, Dongning City ranked 9,985, whereas Zijing City ranked 7,652. The difference between them was over 2,000 ranks. It was said that the strongest evolver in Zijing City followed the giant evolution path. Once fully exerted, his stature could surge to a whopping 5 meters. Although his strength was also at the first rank 12th segment, his real combat power was almost close to the second layer. For a typical second layer evolver, defeating this giant was not an easy task. If they were outdoors, Chao Rong and Lu Shiguang might have some confidence. After all, if they couldn't defeat him, they could still run away. Evolvers of the giant evolution path were known for their lack of speed. But how could they run in a tournament? The arena was only so big. Where could they run to? Furthermore, the official administrators of the virtual world, to prevent evolvers from deliberately stalling, would reduce the arena size after a certain time during the match. In the previous tournament, the reason Zijing City achieved a rank within the top 7,000 was thanks to this evolver of the giant evolution path. A giant! Lu Shiguang sighed. This evolution path required innate strength and a constitution stronger than ordinary people for the evolvers intending to practice it. It is indeed somewhat troublesome. Zhong Bai, who had been silent up until now, frowned. Clearly, he also found the situation challenging. However, Zhong Bai seemed to think of something, and his brow relaxed slightly. But don't panic, we still have Mr. Lin. Hello everyone, this is Shadow. Due to copyright restrictions on YouTube, I can't publish many of the audiobooks you love. That's why I've created a special paid service where you can enjoy over 300 high-quality audiobooks from platforms like Webnovel, Pocket FM, Audible, Wuxia, and more. Each novel comes as a one-time purchase, no subscriptions, no hidden fees. After payment, you'll receive full access via Telegram, along with all future updates for that novel. You'll find a wide selection of your favorite genres and titles, always in premium audio quality. Check the full list of available novels in the description. DM me now to get your favorite stories in audiobook form and start listening today.